Hi, my name is Adam Levy. I'm a guitar player and guitar teacher in Los Angeles, California. Over the past few years of teaching and playing and talking with other guitar players and just living my life, I've compiled a whole bunch of little nuggets of guitar-related wisdom. I call them guitar tips. I've posted a few of them here and there on my website, on Facebook and Twitter and things like that. But I thought it would be fun to actually put them all in one place and not just as text, but as a video blog. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post one guitar tip each Friday, and I hope that you will enjoy them, and I hope that they will enlighten your, I hate to say journey, but it is a journey. Playing guitar is a journey. Living your life is a journey. So I hope these shed a little bit of light for you. The first one that I wanted to share, and they're all pretty short. This one is called "Sound Good by Yourself," and this little thing came from a period that I had in my life in the mid '90s. I decided I wanted to learn to play solo guitar. I was a big fan of Tuck Andrus, the guitar player from Tuck and Patty, and a big fan of Joe Pass, and some other jazz guitar players, and Ted Green, of course, who I actually got to study with a little bit. And all these guys could really make the guitar sound like a piano or even like a small orchestra, and I was really intrigued by that. So I went to the local coffee shop in my neighborhood and asked if I could play there every Sunday. And they said, yes, you're welcome to. They paid me, I think they paid me $10 plus brunch, plus I could put out a tip jar. And for me, that was just a golden opportunity. It wasn't really about the money. It was just an opportunity to play solo guitar for 3 hours on a weekly basis in front of real people. It was a low pressure situation because people were generally more interested in their eggs and bacon than they were in the music. But I did actually get a lot of attention, and it led to a lot of gigs, a lot of wedding gigs, a lot of solo guitar performances came out of that Sunday brunch residency. It just lasted for a couple of years, but I got a lot out of it. And one of the things that I wanted to share with you, which is this guitar tip, sound good by yourself. For me, it wasn't about learning, more chord voicings and learning more about these kind of rich tapestries of guitar playing, but it was actually about learning to play more minimally. So instead of playing, a big old D major, this is just D major 7, it's not particularly fancy, but I'm playing 5 notes. And what I learned on my solo guitar gig was that maybe I could just play the root and the melody, or the root and, one harmony note underneath it. That actually started to sound as nice to me as this, and it was a lot more portable. So I could play something like, I'm just making this up as I go along here, but the idea was just if I could get a root note and some melody and maybe just 1 or 2 other notes to support it, that actually started to sound really nice to me, and I found I didn't need these big, these big chord shapes that I had been practicing. And even Ted Green himself, who was a master of solo guitar and knew more chords really than anybody I've ever seen, told me in one of our lessons together that he didn't think I should work out these fancy kind of arrangements. That he thought that now he was talking to me specifically. To somebody else he might have advised something else, but I remember he said, that was just kind of a recipe for disaster. If you work up all these really complicated arrangements, there's so many chances to trip yourself up and then get kind of frustrated because you didn't play things exactly right. And so he encouraged me to just play melodies, and just get to play things that sounded pretty. So that's what I did. And you can do it too. Now, minimalism isn't for everybody, but I'm just sharing what has worked for me. So one thing is trying to make melodies sound good on their own. So just make them nice and clear. Remember that in chord melody style, that's what it's another name for solo guitar. It's called chord melody, but I like to think of it as melody chord. That just prioritizes the melody. So learn to play the melody of whatever song that you're working on, and learn to play it really sweetly and clearly and powerfully. The other thing is that I learned on that gig was changing keys to suit the guitar sometimes can be really helpful. I wanted to learn Maria from West Side Story. And in the movie, Tony, the character Tony, sings Maria in this key. So I guess you could say it's in A flat, but it starts on D flat. Well, that's not really a great key for the guitar. I just took it up a half step and found that it laid really nicely on the guitar. Now you might say, well, that's fancy, but it's really not that fancy. Everything is really just melody and bass notes and triads. So, whether you're interested in playing music from West Side Story or, whatever music is interesting to you, see if you can approach it on the guitar in a way that's simple and clear and straightforward. It doesn't mean dumbing it down. It just means eliminating all the stuff that's not necessary, so that the melody is clear. The groove, if it's something that has a steady groove, the groove should be clear. And, chord voicings and all the harmony that we learn on the guitar, that's just really for us. We like harmony. Maybe if there's a guitar player in the crowd or a piano player, they might appreciate the harmony. But other than that, it's just, I like to eliminate any note that's not absolutely necessary. So that's my guitar tip. Sound good by yourself. I would encourage you to go out and get a little Sunday brunch gig in your neighborhood and just play for a couple hours, even if it's just $10. Even if you have to pay them $10 to let you play there, I think it might be worth it to sit and just you and your guitar and see how much music you can make all by yourself. Thanks a lot. This is Adam Levy with guitar tip number 1.